Hello, crafting buddies. It's Lori, late night Lori, from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. Let me get this out of the way so you can see, right? Welcome. It is Tuesday, August 12th at 11:33 p.m. and I'm coming to you from wet Wisconsin. We still had more rain today. I think there might be more even overnight. And it looks like we might be in business. Alrighty, so quickie commercial. Stampin' Up! Right now through the end of August has the 2025-2027 in color products on sale for 15% off, and there is a boatload that is on sale. So cardstock, inks, alcohol blends, designer series paper, and designer series paper that has in colors in it. Scrapbooking kits, kit collection kits. There's just all kinds of things. Go take a look. If you're at my store and go to the menu and shop for products, I think you can shop by color, and then you can shop by in color for 2025 to 2027, and then you can see the whole list of things that are on sale. All right. So I ordered several of these cloud cover full-size ink pads. These are not available to anyone but demonstrators because some of the color is not staying true to how it was supposed to be manufactured. And it apparently it's something with the ink interacting with the foam pad that it's on. So anyway, I bought several of these. The first 5 people that order with me during August, it doesn't matter what you order. You could order all last chance list stuff. You could order all in color stuff. It doesn't matter. The first 5 that order at least $35 in product will receive one of these ink pads from me. You'll just have to maybe remind me when you place an order. I usually get notification and I watch for those. But if it comes down to I have more than 5 people, I want to make sure that the first 5, maybe 6, get a free ink pad. All right. If you are local to me, August 20th, I will be at Cat's Coffee House again for our coffee and a card. We meet between 10 and noon. It's a Wednesday. We will make some fun, quick and easy cards so it's suitable for beginner stampers, and we can dress it up a little bit for those that are a little bit more advanced. Come give that a try if you're local to me. It's fun. Sometimes we can go past noon. I just have to be out of there and cleaned up before she closes. So we say noon. All right, tonight we are going to do Stay Warm again. Now, last night we made this basically kind of a upscale card. We use the metallic rub-ons. What are they called? I have them in here. Here we go. The metallic textures rub-ons. Those are pretty cool. It's basically like embossing for the person who doesn't want to get out all of their powders and Versamark and heat gun and all of that, or they don't want to purchase all of that. These are really slick. They work really cool. And this was the second card that I made. Just some repetitious stamping on there to kind of make our own little DSP. Fussy cut a bunch of those, did a little Wink Stella on there, and then used a sentiment from Peace on Earth. And I just cut those all apart because I think it gives it a more fun vibe. So that's what we did last night. Now tonight, I thought we would do something similar. And in my head, it kind of was a mix between the 2 cards. But I kind of wanted to make this one, but elevate it a little bit and fussy cut that sweater out. Now, I'm not a fan of fussy cutting, but I'm forcing myself to do it a little more often. So we're going to use this. We are using this. I did, on this card, I did a thinking of you with this set here, Layered Thoughts. It's pretty fun. I haven't used it a whole lot, so I thought I would use it again. And then we've got these metallic textured rub-ons. So I, again, am going to make this landscaped. So what I did was I took my 8.5 by 11 sheet, landscaped. I scored it at 5.5 and then put it to portrait so I could cut it at 4 1/4 so that I can have my landscaped card here. And I always like to score once, cut once, so that I've got 2 card bases ready to go. And then I have a piece that's 3 1/4 by 5, so that we could do a white on white layer basically. Okay. And we'll see how this goes. This is the one I played with. You can tell maybe I got a little inky. But we're just gonna play with this. And I thought what I would do is I played with some of this ahead of time. Obviously I made that one card, but I wanted to see what it would look like stamped on designer series paper. Now you may not have even realized, but this one is stamped on designer series paper. And I did some ink blending with my blending brushes with, oh, what color? Blackberry Bliss. All right. So this paper is the Woven Textures Designer Series paper. So I pulled out some of this. And then I have some scraps of this, which is just like a tight woven tweed sort of thing, I guess, or linen. So we're gonna do a little stamping on those. And I already did a little bit of stamping and a little bit of fussy cutting so that I could speed things up for us. And I wanted to see how these would look with different designer series papers. So this one I just did on basic white. And with these stamps, these are called reversibles. All right. So one side has the detail, you flip the stamp over and you get just the image. All right, just the outline image filled in. And what I did with these is just stamped it off and then did the detail on top. So tonight, because I'm using the designer series paper, I'm not going to use that, the flat side for the reversible part. I'm just using the detail part. And I wasn't sure if I would be able to use these rub-ons kind of as snowballs. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. So this, if you can see that designer series paper, there's the A side, I think, and this is the B side. I did this with Secret C. So I stamped it off for the reversible part. And then I stamped off with the detail part as well. And I'm not happy with that. I'm not going to use that one. But I did like how it looked just with the crumb cake or basic beige, whatever color is in there. And then the Secret C stamped on that full strength. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut that one. And then I did a blue. So this is, what color did I have? Don't remember what I was using for this one. I think I did this one yesterday. I think this was Misty Moonlight, if I'm not mistaken. This is Garden Green. So we may use those since I have them ready to go. But then look at how cute these are. Stamped on this heavier design. This is Calypso Coral. So I did the background with Calypso Coral. I did that one full strength, and then I used Secret C to put the lines on there. And then this was Secret C stamped off. And then that was for the reversible side, and then full strength with the detail side. Okay. So I'll fussy cut these as well so we can just kind of eyeball and see what trips our trigger, what we want to put together. So if you are joining me live, feel free to pipe in anytime. Let me know if you've got a suggestion of technique or color or layout, because I think it's good to collaborate. And I just thought we would play with some of these other colors to see how they look. So I have Calypso Coral, and this is from the, I think this is all from the either Florals in Bloom. I think it's Florals in Bloom. Or it could be Floral Impressions. I don't remember. Sometimes things are a blur. All right, we'll just stamp this on here. Hopefully it'll stamp good. I don't have my piercing mat under here, and I usually do that with a photopolymer stamp. That looks pretty busy. I'm not sure if we're going to like that one. And then I thought we could try it with Strawberry Slush. So let me clean off that stamp. We're just going to play with a bunch of these colors and see what looks good. And I did, last night I had this sweater on a D block. Tonight I put it on a larger block because some of my sleeves didn't quite print really well yesterday. So I thought we would hopefully do a little bit better today. So let's see how this looks with Strawberry Slush. I think it'll fit this way. That might be kind of cute. And then I have another piece here that I thought we could try, the Garden Green. And we'll just see how that one looks. And I like to put my ink to my paper rather than my, or ink to my stamp rather than my stamp to my ink, because I think it makes for a better impression, and you can tell better if you're inking completely. That's pretty busy too. I don't know that I like that one either. We'll see. This could be like an ugly sweater card. We'll see. Because that was kind of what I had in the back of my head when I first started getting this laid out. Back when maybe everybody still does do ugly sweater things. All right, so let's get this out of the way. And let's just fussy cut a few of these. This one's pretty busy. Get pretty close to the shoulder there. If you've crafted with me before, you know I'm not a fan of fussy cutting. I think maybe I'm just too particular and I want it to be perfect. And I want to be able to do it fast. And that does not always happen. Get this out of the way. I know some people really like to fussy cut. One of the gals on my team likes to fussy cut a lot. She says it's relaxing. I wouldn't say it causes me stress, but it's not something I would pick to do. And you can try this with other designer series paper you have as well, obviously, and you might get different results. These were just some of the papers I had at hand that I started playing with. Let me turn on my other light, maybe that'll help. So the key to fussy cutting is that you move the paper, not your scissors. And in theory, it does work really well. For me, I can't quite get those points navigated. If it's not too sharp an angle, then I can usually turn my paper easily enough. But like here, if I just go like this and then try to turn it and keep cutting, this is so tight of an angle that I struggle with it. So I just did it that way instead. All right, so there's one down. Luckily I cut a couple of them ahead of time. Oops, I want to throw that away. So I think this one is probably my favorite. We might have this one on top. And then on the inside, I'm waiting for some of my pre-order items that should be delivered here this week from the new catalog that starts in September. It'll run September to December. There's new online exclusives. There were 3 new kits this month. And the last chance list was updated. So there's a lot going on for demonstrators this month. If you're not a demonstrator, then you just have to wait until September for some of the goodies. The last chance list is available for you now. And there's a lot of really good deals on there. I used some 1/8 inch ribbon last night. It was a twin pack. One was a spool of silver metallic ribbon, and then one was gold. And it's at $4.50, so it's half price for 2 rolls, and I think there's 10 yards. I don't know if that's 10 yards on each roll or just 10 yards altogether. I didn't unroll mine and measure. And I never seem to go through all of my ribbon before it's time for new ribbon to get released. I'm getting better. But like around Christmas time, I'll go through more ribbon because I do use it for even gift wrapping. Not just like treat packages, but when we're giving gifts to family and that. I will use a lot of ribbon on those things. If I do any baked goods, I will put ribbon around my packaging for those. So I do use it, just more at Christmas time than throughout the year. So I think it's kind of a cool effect when you stamp this on the designer series paper. And I don't know that with this card, depending on what sweaters we choose to use, I'm not sure that we'll stamp the background like I did on this one, because with all of these sweaters, there's not going to be a whole lot of space left. So we'll pick out what sweaters we like best. And then I'm going to show you how I extended my banner die. It's not a new technique. I know some people kind of struggle with it though. But the banner dies, I don't know if they're called party banners dies. I'll pull out the package and we'll see. But I like the smallest banner width. So that's what we're going to extend, is that smallest one. We'll see how this goes. We're not going to use all of these sweaters. Although you could certainly, if you did this many, you could certainly put a bunch on the inside of your card as well, or just make multiple cards. There. And I don't know, this one is kind of growing on me a little bit. I've looked at it a few times. I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. And if we're thinking ugly sweater theme, this could work. We'll see. But this is why I used the Thick Basic White cardstock for my base, and then the basic white for my layer, rather than any kind of designer series paper, because I knew it would be too much with multiple sweaters stamped on DSP. This is kind of the boring part, isn't it? But we're almost done. I can't believe we're almost halfway through August already. It's pretty crazy. I think Friday is the 15th already. And we're halfway through the month. I thought July went fast. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're just going to kind of lay these out a little bit. This will go on dimensionals. And if we just put a few of these sweaters, I like this one the best. This one's kind of cool though too. We're not going to use all of them, they won't fit. There is a stamp that says something of, I don't know if I ordered it, but I saw the sentiment on the sample that says, I think, thinking of you warmly. So that would be a good sentiment for this. I don't know, 5 might be too many. Or maybe 5 of those colors. That one's better. And then if we do this banner, we're going to do thinking of you. Let's move this up. I had this designer series paper pulled out too because I thought that would make a cute sweater. But I think we have enough sweaters to work with. And then what we'll do is we'll put some snow accents on here, I think. But what I'm going to do is pull out Bossy Bessie here. And we are going to do this banner. Now, this is 1.25 inches, and I just randomly had a scrap. I don't even know how long this is. Probably 5 inches or so. Yeah, maybe about 5 inches. So what we're going to do, I need my platform. All right, so we need your platform and your shim, which is 1. You need a cutting plate. And what I've got here is the die, and I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape because I don't want to cut on this end. So I'm going to have my die extend past my plate so that when I put this in here, and when I put this other plate on top, and they're going to be staggered, I'm only going to be cutting the banner end. All right. So you can see how this cut off. Now when we take this off, and I reuse my washi tape, there's our banner. Now when you put the die at the end of your plate and then have it extended, and if the other plate is not laying directly on top of this, you do not get any kind of line, okay? I've got just a little bit of a ridge here where my die was a little narrower than my strip of basic white, but I'm just going to trim this up just that little bit, and it'll be good to go. All right, so let's get this out of the way. Make sure we don't have any tag-alongs. And let's go ahead and stamp our thinking. And I'm going to use Secret C. And I'm just using my fingernail to smooth out this edge. Okay. So I'm going to have to find out what stamp has that, like Thinking of You Warmly. I saw it. I'm just going to have to find out where it was. I may have to look at the recipes. Did you know that Stampin' Up! Has recipes for us? Basically, anything that's in the catalog or the online exclusives, there is a list available to demonstrators that indicates what products were used. So sometimes I'll look through the catalog and I might not recognize a piece of designer series paper. And maybe it's the B side that, you know, I saw all the A side designs but didn't see the B side. And that recipe will help tell me what designer series paper it is. So we'll do Of You in Secret C also. Now for the other card, I fussy cut it. So I think we'll do the same thing here. And we'll just see how this looks. 5 sweaters might be too much. And I'm getting my fussy cutting practice in because, like I said, I don't like to fussy cut, but it sure does look nicer than just having the block of paper, I think. Because we've got the block banner for the big sentiment. And then this one I think will just look nice fussy cut. There's no die. If I would have had more time and thought further ahead, I would have had some of these more of them cut out ahead of time so you wouldn't have to watch me fussy cut. But at least this kind of gives you an idea of how much time it might take you to make the card if you reproduce something similar or copy it. All right. So I think I might have made this one a little closer of cutting than my first one, and I'm all right with that. So this will go here. We will have, I like this one over here because I'm going to put the sleeves on top, just like I did with the Blackberry Bliss, and Pretty in Pink is what I matched up there. And I use those colors because that's what's on the color coach. Now I could have set it off with a Pretty Peacock, but I didn't really think that was very winter looking. So we're winging it. I think I'm going to take this one off. Maybe just 3 sweaters. I think I might like this one. What do you think? And then this will be here. And we're going to put some of these snowball pieces on here, I think, because